This is a story about a man who had loved and lost. For most people, life follows a natural order: to graduate from school, find a job, to get married with the one you love, and to experience the joys of parenthood. But for Kim Huat, life was far from being kind. Over the years, as people had come and gone in his life, he had long given up on love and ambition. The only thing that had stood the test of time and kept him company throughout his lonely years was his beloved radio of 60 years. Listening to the radio had brought a lot of joy to him since he was young, and the radio had stayed with him through rough and tough times. Back then, he was a little boy who would always come home to an empty house every day after school. He was a lonely boy who often wished that his family was rich so that his mom and dad would not have to be out working all the time. All this while, only one thing kept him company: his father's radio. For a boy who was rather shy by nature, he had few friends and preferred to be alone. While the other boys in the neighborhood had one another for company playing catching, the diligent boy had the Beatles and the Carpenters while he studied for his examinations. At night, he would keep the radio on, listening to soothing night tunes that coaxed him to sleep. When Kim Huat was in secondary school, one of his favourite pastimes was to play football. He remembered the weekly Sunday football games with his childhood playmate Sun Bing. They would kick for hours and hours under the hot sun, laughing and chatting happily as they played. 5 years on, the weekly sessions continued, and Kim Huat grew up to be a fine young man. Soon it was time for Kim Huat to go to work. His work life began with a job as a helper at the local city shop owned by the richest tycoon in the neighborhood, Mr. Ng Chip Sing. Mr. Ng Chip Sing was known to be a serious no-nonsense man, and initially, Kim Huat felt nervous meeting his boss on the first day of work. However, he soon relaxed after he found Mr. Ng to be a rather kindly man. Upon Mr. Ng's instructions, Kim Huat went off to tend to his duties. At this very moment, Kim Huat could not believe his eyes. Before him stood the most beautiful, enchanting, dazzling, marvelous, stunning angel he had ever seen his entire life. He was awestruck. The first time their eyes met, they fell in love. They smiled because they knew.
Can't disguise the look.
Over the next few days, the two were in a world of their own. Kim Huat never expected to find so much joy in working. Even mundane work like dusting the shop and arranging the CDs filled him with so much happiness. Every now and then, little incidents between the two had sparks flying all over the room, and it was a real wonder that the music books did not catch fire then. As the days went by, Kim Huat felt more and more certain that she was the one who completed him. He was not an alcoholic, but every time they touched, he was intoxicated. If only time could freeze there and then.
Greetings everyone, this is Harry James and you're live on PVZ. It's a Thursday afternoon and it's time once again for a weekly call-in session. So if you have something to say, a confession to make or a song to dedicate, feel free to call me at 1-800-2263.
It took time for me to know
Kim Huat was in a dilemma.
what you tried so not to
He wanted
show.
so much to tell her, but should he?
Something in my soul just cried. I see the warmth in your
He ran in for the kill.
baby. I'd love you to want me the
Kim
way
Huat sat at the pavilion waiting for her.
the way that it should be.
Did she hear his confession?
Baby,
Would she turn out?
love me to love you the way
Would
that
she?
I want to. If